gonna get into the Blueface. Where are they? Where are they now? The fall of his career, but where are they now? Let's get into it. Blueface. This is Willie G's reactions.
Her work ethic wasn't there enough for me to cope with her.
Where is Blueface
crazy,
at?
cope with her crazy life decisions and the way she think and act and move.
I had to pause it because, they should actually have Blueface on here right now, live on this video. But that's the last pause I say. Like, share, subscribe to my videos, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Peace.
The rapper who named himself after his early schoolyard Crips gang ties catapulted from local Los Angeles obscurity to hip-hop notoriety thanks in large part to his ubiquitous 2018 single, Tatiana. Prior to that, he had laid the necessary groundwork with singles like Respect My Crippin', but unlike with Tatiana, none of those tracks had stars like YG or Cardi B jumping on their remixes. Following his sudden ascendance to worldwide fame, Blueface seemingly poised to become one of the biggest rappers of recent memory, but then a series of legal issues would stem the tide and delay his debut studio album until March of 2020. Since then, Blueface has split his time between music and creating a reality television series for his OnlyFans profile. Oh, and he's also decided to throw his hat in the newest trend of celebrity boxing. So how did Blueface go from being the next big thing in rap to owning his very own seafood restaurant? You're about to find out on our newest episode of Where Are They Now? Blueface was born Jonathan Michael Porter on January 20th, 1997 in Los Angeles, California. Thanks large in part to his parents' eventual divorce, Blueface would relocate multiple times over his childhood, including being shuttled back and forth between California and Ohio. Eventually, however, things began to settle down a little bit when he was a teenager, and he moved in with his mother to the Santa Clarita Valley, where he began to pursue a career in acting. At that time, his mom would take him to her auditions, and eventually Blueface even booked some gigs for himself. He told New York Times, "It was fun when I got picked and I was in the commercial and it was like, oh, look at that commercial, but I didn't enjoy it as a kid." Upon falling in love with the sport of football, Blueface put his acting aspirations to the side, and at that point he began consistently switching high schools in search of the best possible sports program. He wound up settling into Arleta High School during his senior year. The team won 8-4 and averaged around 40 points a game that season, with Blueface acting as the team's starting quarterback.
We just came in confident. We knew we had the guys to do it. We knew we had the line in the block. We just came out and fought hard.
For college, Blueface moved to North Carolina to play football, leaving his mother behind in California. It was a short stint that basically went nowhere, and before long, Blueface returned to his mother's house in Los Angeles to figure out what was going to be next for him. Once back home in California, Blueface turned himself into a stay-at-home dad, caring for his young son while his partner went off to work. At that point, he considered multiple career paths that he might embark on, like becoming a barber, and he wound up operating an Instagram profile called The Fade Room that showed off the haircuts on social media. Reflecting upon this difficult period in his life a few years later, Blueface would tell XXL, "It was actually my last shot at life. I was working jobs, selling weed and just hustles. I kind of fell out of love with all those things, and once I got used to it, that's kind of not good. Once I found music, I had some goals." A chance outing to a recording studio would turn Blueface's life around and convince him to pursue rapping. At that point, he had no idea what kind of music he wanted to make. He simply heard his own voice played back to him through the speakers and fell in love with how it sounded. Just like that, Blueface the rapper was born. Starting in September of 2017, Blueface posted a handful of songs to his SoundCloud profile, each of one with a different feel and style. But it was his track Deadlocks that stuck. After uploading that track to SoundCloud, Blueface set goals for himself with daily play count totals. He then picked up a camera and started shooting his own music videos. In the quest of creating even more viral moments, he would host informal polls over on his Instagram profile, asking which high school students were following him the most. He'd then drive to that school and perform an impromptu concert on top of his car for his litany of fans. By June of 2018, he was finally ready to unleash his first full-blown mixtape, Famous Crip, which included the hit track Respect My Crippin'. The music video for that single would be released on World Star Hip Hop and quickly go viral, propelling his entire mixtape to the number 29 spot on the Billboard 200. Now that Blueface was a certified big deal, the labels came calling, and Blueface pushed all his chips into the middle of the table by signing with Cash Money West. He also got taken under the wing by none other than manager extraordinaire, Wack 100. Wack got to work for Blueface by teaming up with the likes of G-Eazy, Tyga, and a host of others to crank out a series of collaborations. But just as it looked like Blueface was primed to explode, his career hit a few snags thanks to some legal setbacks. First, he was arrested in November of 2018 for assault with a deadly weapon. Soon after that, he was arrested again in February of 2019 on charges for gun possession. Blueface would plead not guilty in both cases. And honestly, that's only a taste of the trouble the rapper has found himself in over the years. And if you guys would like to learn more about his controversies, don't forget to check out the Dark Side of Fame video that we did on Blueface.
When police approached Blueface, he was with his crew and all of them quickly scattered, throwing their weapons away as they fled the scene. Blueface was later apprehended and charged with felony possession of a loaded firearm. This time, it only took $35,000 to get himself out of bail. After that, Blueface was on his best behavior for the rest of the year. But then in December of 2019, criticism was tossed his way after a video emerged online of him throwing cash off the roof of his car as he made his way through LA's Skid Row.
But for now, I'm going to skip over that just to get you up to date with what Blueface has been doing lately. After sorting out his legal issues, Blueface got his career back on track, and by March of 2020, he was finally ready to drop his debut studio album, Find the Beat. If I'm being honest, the reception to this long-delayed project was mixed to say the least. Perhaps in response to this, Blueface's next single would be a total shakeup from the past music that he's made. Outside, Better Days, a collaboration with OG Bobby Billions, would drop in early 2021 and see the usually goofy and good-natured rapper take on some more serious subject matter. He's also diversified his creative portfolio by taking part in projects totally outside the realm of music. For instance, when OnlyFans became the next big thing in terms of social media platforms, Blueface created his very own series, Blue Girls Club, which debuted with such outlandish clips. Many people thought that Blueface was running a sex ring, low-key like R. Kelly. When Blueface was asked if he was creating his own cult, his response was simply, WTF is a cult. Because the bottom line is, when Blueface gets an idea in his head, no matter how crazy it might seem, no one can really tell him no. Not even Wack 100. When asked about how other people responded to his crazy ideas, he told XXL, "Nobody can talk me off the ledge once I got an idea. Wack, he always advises me not to do my ideas until he realizes that I'm just going to do it anyways. And then he advises me how to do it legally at least. So that's how it works." Speaking of crazy ideas, just this last July, Blueface also stepped inside the ring with TikTok personality Kane Trulio and then put the kid on the mat.
You know what, Kane? We know how the internet works. I'm sure the punches that Blueface landed on Kane are going to be what's shown to the internet and not it going the distance.
The only problem with that, after winning the fight, an actual boxer jumped into the ring and tried to throw down with Blueface. So what did he do? He clocked that guy too.
That's big. Oh my God!
Blueface has also thrown his hat into the restaurant business, buying himself a seafood place called Blues Fish and Soul, located in his old neighborhood of Santa Clarita, California. Funny enough, it's actually the first real business investment that Blueface has ever